show of hand that how many of you are already convinced that you will start an online store after the session, Adrian? Wow, that means Adrian and I have a lot of work to do in the next 1 hour or so, right? Right. So before I begin, before I do a self introduction, I just want to set my expectation, right? When I was asked to share this, of course I don't know what to share. So I'm going to do a storytelling about my business, right? And how I started. Some of you may know me. I don't join this industry, and I was just recently reading. We are very active in e-commerce of late. The most reason why is about who is the top 50 most young entrepreneur in e-commerce. Obviously, I'm not qualified because I'm past 40s, right? And it's good that I see many faces here in this room. You are below 40s. You still qualified for the Young SME Award, young whatsoever reason. However, not too disappointed for those who are past 40 like me, because I think age is just a number. I always tell you a joke that to start with, right? How many of you know that this the baby boomer, the Gen X, the Gen Y, the Gen Z, and so on? I'll tell you, every one of us belongs to one common category called the Gen C. You know what's the Gen C? If you belongs to those who always like to check on your phone for something about social media on the screen, about information, be it computers, all kind of screen you check, then you're obviously the right qualified candidate to be in the e-commerce. Are you one of them?
Yes.
Right, let's get started. Right, let me just do a quick introduction about myself. As you know, I currently run two business entities in this Malaysia, and I started Singapore recently. But I will run you through, this is what the agenda flow. I'll do a quick intro about myself and also about the company. I thought this is an easier way to show you how we started business of my category, and place your business model and the journey ahead. And we also will look into ASEAN market. In case some of you already selling online, you may want to, your product are very suitable in this going regional, especially what Adrian said, 4.5 exchange rate, why not? Many of the successful sellers, one of them I think in this book you'll probably read, right? The number one eBay seller is in Klang, right? Selling car spare parts to the world, right? We also have people, photo book is out there, right? They're also doing great business selling to 3-4 countries in the world, US, Canada, and Australia, and so on and so forth, not looking at Malaysia alone. So there are many great sellers, great stories. But why looking at online versus offline? The other area is that some of you may think, should I do online now or should I don't do online? Or should I have a combination of both? We call it omni-channel. Alright, the O to O in whichever way. How do you do it? The other area you must also understand the fundamental of doing business, the marketing mix. If you are in the marketing courses, Philip Collar, the 4P, 5P, 6P, 7P, 8P, whatsoever, it still apply in online world. How do we do it? How do you understand the online context? The next I will share a little bit about online store versus marketplace. Adrian briefly touched on just now. I will share with you from a business owner perspective. Should I consider an e-store with the real story of many of my friends' successful e-store, or marketplaces, which I'm in, most of them in Malaysia? And last but not least, hopefully I have time for some Q&A session. Does that sound good? Okay, good. Let me first learn quick intro myself. I am actually pretty much IT. When I graduated in computer science in my early 93, I came up to, got a job in IT. Studied programming, never do programming job. I wrote games before, in college days, but never write a single program in corporate life to make money. I went into sales marketing all the while. So those are the company I started, some distribution company, probably about CSA before. I didn't put it here. Then I went on to NEC. I joined NEC at the age of 21. I spent about 9 years there with that from the rank and file in the Japanese. The joke of if you look at my career, I'll tell you, right? I started with Japanese drinking sake through my first career about 9 years. Then this company was sold to a company called, they bought over a company in Europe called Pacabell. Well, it's a US company, right? Then I was the first country manager for them at the age of 27. That was my life in probably about, because I was long serving there, I know everything. So I was there working. Then we have a factory in Penang, right there. So that was my life in NEC. After about 33, 34 years, then Intel spoke to me after a couple of times. So I joined Intel. So I do sell CPU to every of the computer you use in this part of the world. So that was the CPU, the motherboard days I was in Intel, both in Malaysia and also in the regional APAC role. Then I went on to a different role. I see the challenge. The time I see a new Chinese brand, that was number 6, number 7. It's called Lenovo. They just acquired IBM. They're going to be the future world leader. So I went in to join. After the Chinese boss, I know him. It's my customer. So I was the country manager for a short period with them. There was the one selling the ThinkPad. You probably know IBM ThinkPad. You know the Lenovo IdeaPad today. So these are the brands I carry. So I touched on many of the brands for them. Then I went on, after that short stint, there's some restructuring happening. I went on to a company called Microsoft. You probably know, right? If you use Windows, you use Office, any consumer business in Malaysia, that's the business I was managing. That was the business in Microsoft, right? Short 3.5 years, then I noticed that, my age is not long already, right? One day I'll call it corporate life. So I decided to come out. I know nothing about e-commerce. Like 2 years ago, like many of you, they don't know me, I know nothing. I only have the knowledge of know how to source product, know where to get product, but don't know how to sell. Right? So that's the position. So that's the story here to tell you is right. Even though you have good fundamental, many of you I see your business owner, you know how to have good sourcing product. But the thing is how to do online. It's never too late. Some of you call it this evolution of e-commerce is a fourth industrial change. The first industry is those who are our great-great-grandfather during the railroad, the industrial age. Right? Then you have the financial wave, right? The IT wave, now the e-commerce wave is coming. So if anybody want your children to study like how the industry is going, e-commerce is the right industry in the next couple of years, when we are still lack of talent. With that, let me just kick off to introduce our company. What is ClickAsia, right? ClickAsia is actually a company. It was actually the thinking of, as you know, we came from IT. I know IT product well. I have good sourcing IT product. We are positioned to be the premium e-tailer. It's actually an electronic retailer. We don't own a store, but we only sell in store online. We market over 50 old brands, and most of the brands that we carry are all premium brands that we carry. The second point, you look at the bottom here, the strategic brand and partnership. Those 6 brands that I call out, because we also run the brand store. What do you mean by that? Today, you take your phone, or tonight you go into Lazada 11th Street. Some of those brand store, you type Acer, they ask you to go official store. You type Logitech, they ask you to go official store. You type WD, go official store. You go to Shopee, ask you to go official store. Those stores actually run by us. We are the one behind doing the job for the brand. So that's a brand partnership that I call include Fitbit. And you notice the strategy we do is that we choose the brand. Of course, I represent 50 old brand. But why we only choose the brand? Because Acer is the leader in the category. Western D and SanDisk today is the leader in the storage category. Fitbit is the leaders in the category of activity trackers. And likewise, Logitech is the leaders in the category in the peripherals and things product. And this one, you need to make sure you partner with the leaders. So one of the things in business is partnership. You cannot be alone, right? And how we started is that we founded this company in 2015. I'll give you a storytelling later, right? The next one is really about partnership. I own substantial share in this company, but I'm not the only shareholder. You cannot be alone, right? You need to make sure you have a partnership, and this is a very cash-intensive business. You need money to run, right? And aspire to become a leading retailer in 6 ASEAN countries. Our mission is to have 6 countries open by 2020. We are on track. Every year, I'm looking at one country as an expansion. The way we do expand in countries is we are different. You can sell to many countries, but not having offices at present. But we set up offices, we have people. Today, I have 4 people in Singapore. I have a country manager. He's formerly from Apple Singapore, selling iPhone. Right? So we actually invest in people. We are building capability. And this is where the difference is. And regional expansion started in Q2, and of course, this is something I want to share with you in the organizational people. I managed a lot of people before, but MNC culture and a startup entrepreneur is completely different thing. You need to have an MNC way of running business, but you need to run very prudent because I'm no longer managing the multi-million dollar from a business of the cash. All the cash is from my own pocket and my partner pocket. So I need to be very prudent in running the business. So the micro MNC culture will keep. And last but not least, I also briefly touch on the marketplace. I will share with you more about detail the next slide, but we today operate in 6 marketplaces. Marketplaces consider like what Adrian says, some of them can be B2B, B2B2C, or B2C, or C2C, right? The most important about marketplace, you treat them as, I call it, shopping mall. They are like the Wanatama, Mid-Valley, KLCC pavilion. When you are e-tailer, you are like the Guardian, the Harvey Norman, the Singing, whatsoever you call it inside the mall. When people want to buy the category product, do they go to your place? Do they bring traffic to you? Yes. Every day you open your shop, or in the good things about online is 24/7, people think of you. When you sleep, also got business. And this is the type of business you want to be in. Alright? So you're with me so far. Let me just move on. Today in Malaysia, we operate 15 online stores, with Singapore 3. So I actually own about 18 online stores in 6 market platforms. So how we do the business and scale in this, I would say actually in business is 1.5 years. Okay, the next story will tell you, right? We have total about 18 online stores in 6 marketplaces and in 2 major markets today. We have our own stores. Some of you know that we don't do a lot of business in our own stores. I don't mind to share less than 5% of business in our own store. Because of the category of product we carry, I cannot compete with Lazada. I cannot compete with Gen 5 today, for instance, and so on. When you cannot compete, then what do? You partner with them. So we are lucky in that we are quite big in all the stores. So I have our own store in every other place we are. Including Gen 5, recently in the electric category, they have 4 players selected. Click Asia, Tan Gu Ting, Sing Heng, and HLK. So you're one of them in the category. Have our own brand store in their marketplace. You must have certain assortment, confidence that they want to give it to you. So that's the type of partnership that we talk about. We have in mostly Lazada store. We have in 11th Street, I have 4 stores in 11th Street. Managing Asia, WD official store, Western D, Fitbit official stores coming up, Asia store in Leilong, Acer online store we have in both Malaysia, 11th Street and also in Lazada, and last but not least, the recent one is Singapore. The good news is, it took some marketplace 2 years to convince Acer to come in. It took me 2 meetings to get Acer on board. In less than 2 weeks, we're up. So that's the type of speed, the expertise, and also the knowledge that we have to bring on board. And Logitech store is really something different. You'll be surprised that people buy mouse, people buy keyboard, people buy a lot online. And this is a real story. I didn't show the slide, but I want to show you the reason my cyber sales that happened in November. They won us one of the top awards. We went on stage to get top SMB award. We shipped a lot. I was amazed by the shipment in 4 days. I give a hint, almost 1,000 order of mouse and keyboard, 4 days. Right? That is the type of potential category. Of course, you're talking about Shopee, it's a new thing. Shopee, a lot of us, I started is at C2C. Okay, but my advice to you in Shopee is that you need to involve and understand the game. It's not a B2C. You need to be prepared for the PM culture. You need to be prepared to make sure rating is good. The people in Shopee, whenever they place an order, they like to ask you, I place an order, when are you shipping my order? You will not find this in the B2C. But in a C2C platform like Shopee, it's a norm. That means you need to have a customer service team ready in Shopee. That is what you need in Shopee, right? And I think Carousel is not too active in Malaysia. I think Shopee is coming. Why Shopee? How many of you know Shopee background? Do you know all of us are somehow shareholder of Shopee? Khazanah, you know Khazanah? Invested 170 million into Shopee. Their mother company is called Garena. Garena is actually a big group on a gaming platform, So they are who they are today. The office is in Mid-Valley. I just came to the office in Singapore last week. Very nice, 2-floor, right? I took posted some picture, I'm sure you saw, right? Very nice office. Yeah, I think Malaysia is equivalent, but I think these are up and coming players, right? They are like what? Don't say they are all deep pocket, right? The other thing is this is a little bit about background, how we started the story. So I'll tell you, it's possible, right? I know nothing about this business. I just put some money into the game, of course, with some knowledge in the corporate. We launched just to start with, right? I start with myself. This is a real story, right? You don't ask me how many SKU have I loaded before. I personally loaded about 100 to 300 myself. Of course, I have a team to help out to do the loading for the SKU. You need to be hands-on. I always ask my team today, I don't do a lot of loading today. I have content to do. But and on average, how many of you already selling Lazada? Can I have a show of hand? Yes, 1, 2. All of us, if you are in Lazada selling, right? The first 50 SKU, I think should be taking you weeks, right? To get on board. You'll probably cry until you know, why I still cannot get the quality QC approved to get listed to let people see I want to sell my products. That's the experience you have to go through. But if you're an expert today, you can get it up in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Example, of course, you also make sure quality content is there and so on and so forth. There are a lot, each of the platform have a learning curve you need to go through. It's not an easy thing, right? But the next thing, we move into the office, a small office. We double up the office in 6 months down the road. We started Singapore and we are moving to a new office, our own office in Tropicana Avenue after Chinese New Year. It's finished renovation, right? And I have about 20 plus headcount now. We will still grow, small business, and in about 6 platforms, right? It's not about the story. This is a small story, right? Today we are in $1 million business, right? Every month we are in millions, every year we are in multi-million right now. And I believe this business has potential to be probably about 10% of the total addressable market. Somebody asked me, is online going to overtake the offline market in the near term? The answer is no. Because don't kid ourselves, right? Many of the zero business model will still be, you look at the mature market, Singapore, you look at the mature market, US, Korea, Taiwan, with the exception of China, okay? The rest, most of the market is between 15 to 25% of the online-offline mix. But China is slightly more, is because China is too big. You don't have so many shopping malls. But you know what's the best business in China now? Shopping mall offline is growing. Lifestyle change, right? Online is growing, but not as fast. But the offline is growing. The other trend. But reality is, Malaysia, the potential, why is it now is power? Is because we are still in infancy stage, depending on category product. 2 to 5% range. I would say consumer, electronics, CE, my category probably about 5%. Some product will still be less than 2%, depending on the category you do. So it's still in infancy. If that become 10, 15, and 20, market share total become online, offline, and you're the market leader, should you join in now? Do you want to learn the game now? Or you want to learn the game later? So that's the answer you should ask yourself. The culture that will work, I think, this is how I share my culture. I mean, nothing to hide, right? I always tell my team, we live by 5 core values. You need to have very strong support from your partners, your sellers, your distributors, your suppliers. Is the key. There's no question about it. Online somehow is about sourcing, it's about price. We are one of the big memory storage seller in the market. SanDisk, Kingston's, Western D, you name it, we have it, right? You know the last couple of months, the flash product price going up. If you know well, in June last year, you keep now is 25 to 30% up the cost. Not talking about US dollar impact, just the flash price because of the supply demand. You know well, you make so much money. But if you don't know the game, very difficult to play. Online is about pricing. So you especially your product is very volatile, like flash product, you need to know very well the market. Technology product, you believe or not, sometimes we sell phone at loss. The phone that we sell to you is at loss, but we still have to sell because it's a portfolio game. Technology is like that. It's a volatile product. The other thing is about e-commerce. You need to build a team of experts. And I'm sad to say that no age discrimination. Most of my team will need to be expert. When I hire, the first condition, they must be 30 years old and below. They must be the new young generation. Unfortunately, many of them are fresh, with no working experience, or some of them are with working experience with some big so-called e-commerce player who exited the game plan last 2 years ago, but they may not have the substance knowledge of the real business world. They may claim to have the online world, but there's no best of both today. So in reality, we still lack of talent. So you need to build, you need to train. So with that, this year, I expanded my headcount. I hired 6 interns. All of them are quite a good A students coming in. So I'm actually training from scratch. You need to do that, but please don't hire my people after that. Just kidding. So you need to train from scratch. That's Adrian will know well. Very difficult to hire talent in our industry. You need to do that, right? There's no best, but you need to train. The next is about people. With online business, you need to make sure that from logistic to your finance to your accounts, everyone in the company must have the DNA of online. I always interview people in this question. Did you buy anything online before during my interviews? If that, so who say that no? Very unlikely I will hire the person. I have very good friends who want to join me for my accounts, my finance manager. But she's so reluctant when she about online because the online accounting is very different from traditional trading accounting. So you must have the DNA of online, even from your accounts teams, your customer service team, because it's different from the brick and mortar. The other one is really about your customer service or cultures. The beauty about the online is like that, right? You don't got a chance to meet customers to scold you in person. But the unfortunate thing is because you don't have a chance to meet them in person, they can come multiple ways to send PM message or post a message into some form of social media to reach you. I like go to the Lazada customer service. You see, the modern or online is that they can do anything, but you need to be responsive and your people must be able to track fast and respond to them. So SLA must be 24 hours. Just now I mentioned about Shopee. Shopee, the guidance is 12 hours. Example, I teach you a trick in Shopee. I have a Shopee account 1 year ago. I have a Shopee account in Sandisk which started about 6 weeks ago. That account has done more than 1,000 orders. Right? The response rate is more than 75% is our score SLA. I won't say I always get it. How do you get it is that every time people say, can I ask something? You must respond. They say thank you, you don't stop there, you must say welcome. If not, your rate will drop. Okay? Within 12 hours, when you're sleeping or your weekend, I'm sorry, your rating will drop over the weekend. Of course, I don't penalize my team over the weekend. I don't expect them to work, but some of them actually do in an online culture. So there's something you need to know about the system, right? To get. Then how do you get followers? When you're on C2C platform, you need to get followers. The more followers you have, the higher chances when you tell something, somebody will follow you, know something, hopefully. The first time I joined, I go and look at all the high-profile players, including the bosses of Shopee in the community. I follow everybody so that hopefully they follow me back. So you need to learn to have followers. This is how you get the tricks done in some of the marketplaces. The last but not least in online world is that the business of graph is going this way because you're starting an online new. Some of you may have an offline business today. To be successful in online, you must split up the entity. If you park it as a current entity, I rest assure you, one of the charts I will share with you is that you will do well, but it's only certain growth your online team will feel because they're part of the current ecosystem. The mindset is the old ecosystem. Actually, we have a group of company in offline, but we spin this off separately just to make sure that it's separate P&L. And our group online, we can do millions every month. We cannot be part of the big group because it cannot work. It has to be separate. Some of you talk about going to ASEAN, right? Why? I know it's a little bit hard to see. Let me just read through you. This is the ASEAN 6 countries. Of course, ASEAN, we have about 10 countries and so. But some of them like Myanmar, Laos, all these are too early to say. But look at the big ASEAN 6. Okay? 620 to 650 million population, roughly, above 600 million, right? 250 million belongs to Indonesia, right? But Malaysia, we all know we're our home ground, right? 30 million as claimed. How many mobile phone users in Malaysia? About 42 million, about 41 something million. That means each one of us has more than one mobile phone. Possible? Yeah, I have 3 SIM cards. Right? Possible, right? But the other thing is you need to know is that to do an online business, to go to a market, when I study all this market, I look at a few elements. First is the population, but don't be fooled by population in e-commerce business. You need to look at internet penetration, social media penetration, okay, the mobile penetration. The last, which I learned from e-commerce Milo recently in all the market survey, they have all the 6 market outlined for you, right? The number of credit card user in the market. Singapore have 3.9 credit card per user. Indonesia is 0.3, not mistaken. or Philippines. That means that most of the Philippines or Indonesia have 0.2 or 0.3 credit card. That means you need plan for COD payment. Is your product COD ready? You need to consider. But Singaporean, no issue. I can tell you my first week in Singapore, my first few order is a 4 TB SSD. How much that thing cost? 2,200 Sing without discount. That is almost like $8,000 times 3 amount. It's about 6,000 baht, 7,000 ringgit. Just a hard disk only, no? More expensive than a MacBook that we sell. So the Singapore market is that you want to capture, you capture the mid to high, not the low. They can buy, they can afford. Alright? But when you go to a different market, this market segmentation study, you need to take note of that. So this chart gives a potential. The unfortunately, I want to take away from this chart is that once you know the market things about your product, the next thing you should know is that should you go or not? Adrian just now covered about the currency exchange. A lot of people ask me why suddenly you go to Singapore first. Singapore is heavy, and then we are still bleeding every month. But the real intention is not to make money in Singapore, it's just to break even. Okay, if you are business long enough, you know well, Singapore is a bad. Why everybody put headquarters in Singapore? 17% tax. Easy of currency floating around. When you do e-commerce business, you can think on paper you make money. But if you don't manage your cash flow among the region floating around well, you buy something, you pay something, you collect money from the market, put it to some places, a bank, you need to pay supplier, right? All these are money flowing around. And Singapore somehow is still the best place, unfortunately, at this point in time. It's not to make money, it's just to make sure to facilitate the next phase of growth. There's some no secret about it. I think some of the players are also looking at that as well. Right? But it's high cost in Singapore. Unfortunately, Singapore has declared two-quarter recession already, officially this month. Right? But the learn trick is that look into Philippines, look into Indo, look into Thailand. Okay? There's some language barrier challenge when you want to go over into Indonesia, Vietnam particularly, and Thailand. Okay? Philippines will be easier. The other thing you should always ask yourself this question. If you're using your money or your money is limited, you want to put your example, right? I'm studying looking at Philippines. For me to start an office in joint venture, which I cannot be majority in Philippines, I need to bring 200,000 US dollar over. Right? And yet, if you bring 200,000 over to Indonesia, which one will break even faster? And you go to another country. That should be a consideration of a businessman as well. Doesn't mean that Indonesia is big. I had some of the friends really tell me, I go Indonesia big, but I cannot burn so long because the market not ready. I have to keep burning so long until I cannot tahan, I come out. My big boss is very deep pocket. But I say no, come out. You cannot keep burning like that because you need to be answerable to somebody. So you need to think through that question yourself as well as a businessman. The next thing I want to highlight is really about, I touched on a little bit about, you know, we all some come from MBA school, you study 4P, 5P, 6P. But let me put in context of the layman in an online term, how I see it. First is product. Product is somehow, no matter what, the most important thing. You must understand where your source of product. You must understand your product very well. Be it your product is a physical product or services product, you must understand it very well. Of course, in the center of it is the way of doing the marketing. The SEO, the database marketing, customer CRM, and so on and so forth. But fundamentally, it's still a physical transfer product. Means I'm providing a service or selling a product from seller to a buyer. So product is there. Second thing about product is pricing. Does your product pricing, you control the price or somebody control the price? In my case, I sell all the leading brands. I'm not the manufacturers. Somebody control the price. So my game plan is different to play. Should I choose a marketplace or what? There's also a consideration I need to take. The second one you need to take is really about the place, the channel. After pricing is the channel. Once you know which channel you choose to sell, do you want to sell in your own store or do you want to sell in marketplace? Do you want to sell local? Do you want to sell overseas? All these considerations you should ask yourself this question. I have a slide later to touch on this one, right? Hang on for that. The fourth one is really promotion. Adrian said well. Sales is about excitement. You need to bring excitement and hoo-ha in an old conventional way. The old school, we have billboards, newspaper, those are the excitement. In the new age, of doing marketing, I can tell you, is all about awareness, digital marketing, social media, Facebook marketing, right? Word of mouth. And last but not least, it can be through a lot of blogging and all kind of digital media. It's more effective than the traditional way. The other part, look at it, is people. I touched on the people in my culture just now. To be successful in this business, boss, regardless of all age, any age you are, you must buy in. But you must have a team of people who are really passionate and really understand online, and they are with you. And you need to cultivate and train and grow and pay them well and keep them. That's a success, right? The more importantly, a lot of people feel, I have many competitors when I started, they're bigger than me. How we climb faster is because we continually improve on our process. Nothing to hide. I want to share you one thing is that today I manage 18 stores. Imagine one SKU, let's say this, I'm selling this product, it can come into 18 different stores. If I have to manage 18 different seller centers, how many tab or CSV I download, I have to review the same thing. If the same item very popular, one store sell 10 items, different customer, you're going to have a headache. Correct? One tab open, one tab one. Imagine I got one button, I see the SKU, I can see across platform, I can see my total versus my warehouse stock, how many I need to buy, how many I ship in just a minute. So this is a lot of process you need to think through your order management to facilitate. I invested some money into writing some of these things to make it work. So you need to think through your own process, your own flow, right? And process including your pre-sales and your after-sales as well. And the other one is really about positioning. Every product will sell, but it's a product positioning in online. Are you targeting to people in the mid to high segment, mid segment, or mid to low segment? In our case, we focus on mid to high segment. We don't want to go so low. There are a lot of people, I can tell you, that some of the number one seller in marketplace, they are just Mr. DIY equivalent. But they do, I would say their orders is 5, 6, 7 times our volume we are doing a day. Dollar value, we are about the same maybe. But margin wise, they make better than me. But their product shelf life and loyalty of customer is almost equals to none, which they are okay. Depends on what kind of things you want to do. Yeah, for us, we build a different profile of customer base. And I asked my customer service this question, also my warehouse people, there's no right or wrong answer. About 30% of our order are repeat customer. Good, right? Is that number? I don't know true or not. It's just anecdotal. By next 1 or 2 months, I'll be able to crunch up to know whether who is my top customer, who is my top 10, what do they buy, how frequent they buy. You need to have that big data analysis to understand your customer profile. And last but not least, in online, because you're not there to physically pass in the product, to hand them the product, the experience is important. Packaging. I give you an example about process and packaging. This is about Starbucks. Everybody have buy a Starbucks coffee in the before, right? You go anywhere in the world, you know where to go and pay money and order a Starbucks. You know after you pay, where to walk to collect your Starbucks coffee. Am I right? That is called physical evidence. In some of the marketing needs, it's called 7P, physical evidence. So your process of customer experience in buying a product versus until they collect the product, that experience is crucial. It's called physical evidence. And you need to make sure that it is available online for people as well, in your respective category. From the way you manage the content, from the way you deliver the product, you cannot control the marketplace experience of payment gateway and so on. But in your own store, you can do that. But you need to make sure that is seamless, you feel comfortable. A lot of people until today in Malaysia don't want to buy online. It's because, like my brothers, he come to my own website, every time he go until 7 step want to pay, he chicken out. Because they did not complete the experience. Once you buy online, you will forever buy online. I buy about 4 or 5 TVs 2-3 years back when I moved to a house, right? Including 60-inch TV for my house, right? I buy from Lazada. But open and hang. And it's so much cheaper, beside the price. And you must know, a lot of friends ask me when to buy things from you. Sometimes you buy from me direct, that doesn't mean you get the best price. You must know when to buy, where to buy, which credit card to use, what voucher to use. You get the best source. That's the rule of online and the marketplace, right? And I want to touch on a little bit about consumer purchase journey. This is traditional model. When how people buy things, Suddenly tomorrow you feel that, hey, I need to change a phone, or my phone spoiled, kena rainwater, there's a need for me to change, need recognition. So what do? Stimulate the purchase already. They want to look at information search. They ask around your friends, neighbors, they look at newspapers, they do information search. What they do? They go to physical store, evaluate option, touch and feel. They want to purchase and post-purchase. That's where your first moment of truth means you experience with the product. Second moment of truth means you experience and after sales. My phone got something wrong. Unfortunately, the example, the Samsung S7, right? But the experience was, they asked people to return back, full refund plus so on. The experience was not bad for some people. Some people reluctant to give back the phone, you know that. That is called the second moment through your post-purchase. So a reputable brand will look at all these things in the purchase. But let me just fast forward in the online world. It's getting interesting, opportunity, and a lot of complex. Right? You look at it. Online, because of we are in the online world, online can touch on every single moment before they even walk to the store. With this omni-channel model, some of you talk about omni-channel, I'll cover a little bit, right? Omni-channel means the business model, you have it online and offline to complementing each other. Some of the big companies in Malaysia, some of the big companies in the world are always talking about online to offline, offline to online. That's the simple term of omni-channel. That means in the old world omni-channel, when I studied, it was US, it's called the mail order. You probably heard before, right? Then they have online sales, they have a brick and mortar business. That is a traditional omni-channel. But the new world omni-channel is really about online and offline, in-store and customer service. Three integrating together. Where the touch point of this is, when there's a need, how do you reach them? Online, through your social media, your blog. Information search through vendor and third-party site. Cross-referencing back to your product. That's the way to look at it. Evaluation of product alternative. Today they can come to marketplace to do a research. They no longer need to go to physical store, touch and feel. Trust me, today you try to walk, let's say click Lazada, you type click Asia, you try a Fitbit, look for Fitbit product. I can guarantee you the way you look for Fitbit product in our store is better than any of the ISP you can speak in store, because we give you video, we give all information, we give you a family comparison, give you an informed decision, and hope that you will not get out of the site and you make a purchase. The only thing you probably will get out is you see any other seller sell you a cheaper price. That's true, that's reality. But your price is really competitive and you're a loyal customer, they will buy. No need to go anywhere. So that's where what I mean by the ETL experience. And last but not least, you post-purchase. Do I know who you are? Yes, you're building that. The next time you give me your phone number, I will be able to tell where you buy from us in which marketplace before, what's the serial number of the product, when you're buying, and that time information, what price you buy. That information is critical in the online business. It's all about information. In the retail world, no, you know what the retailer do? You walk out already, the cashier say, clean hand, thank you very much, hopefully you come back again. They will not. They have data, but they don't use the data. So online have that advantage. And I want to cover a little bit about this important slide. Adrian touched on. My Asia business, and many of you are thinking, right, same. Should I really, when I start this business, play big in own store? Or should I really just go marketplace? The route I took 2 years ago, I go big on marketplace first. I will still do own store. But I want to share with you some story of all my friends in the online world here, right? I only put my friends' logo up there, but doesn't mean the rest I don't. Photobook itself is pretty good as well. But I want to let you know, Sally Fashions, Gangnam probably heard them before. These two are the top EC, SITEC EC merchant in 2015, right? They sell clothing, they sell toys, printers, probably equivalent to photo books on the category. Yeah, just opposite in the other part of the world. 80KC is a unique one you can see. They are the biggest online hardware shop. Can sell or not? Sand, news, all the housing material, biggest online, right? Hermo, you probably heard before. The ladies will know who Hermo is. Johors, they are not by ladies, but by two guys. At the age of 23, they started out 27, right? Right? The story in the book. If you're not sure that get a book from Adrian, the story is here. Hermo is definitely inside. And of course, ourselves in the ICT industry, Sashiki is the #1 father blogger in Malaysia. Dr. Ko is on cameras. He's all a specialist in cameras, right? And of course, you have bidding. Bidding belongs to our friends. We are a group of people. They do bidding products. You know, really those small SKU. I think probably he has the most SKU than any of us in this. The most SKU. The way he packed the SKU is by bin, and the people won't make mistakes. There's also a process you have to learn from him. We visited his place, very unique, right? How he do things. He also have a shop in Evolve, right? Yeah. Of course, Christine, you probably know Christine sells shoe. Selling shoe online for ladies not easy, right? If you don't know who is Christine, you can visit Bandar Utama. They have an outlet in the third floor, opposite Popular. There's online first, now offline. So O2O. So you see all these business model, but they don't do a lot in the marketplace because of the nature of products. So what I'm trying to tell you is, depending on the nature of product, you want to go yourself or go that way. I choose to go here, but most of my volume are for marketplace because of the nature of competition. So the nature of competition landscape make me consider to be that. So these are the choices of marketplaces you have. I may miss out one or two, but these are among the one that's of late getting popular one, including a new one called Aku Laku. This Aku Laku is the place, probably know that you have a credit card, but you don't have a limit and you are good credit rating, they give installment. You can buy a MacBook straight away, get an installment example. They are formerly Alibaba Group, I was told they come out, right? I did not join them yet, still calling me. But what I'm trying to say is that 11th Street, Gem 5, Lazada, these top three are the one. Of course, Leilong, you believe they are a strong local player. Lokman the Singju, Q10, former Gmart, and Shopee by Aeon, Shopee, and of course, Aku Laku. These are the few you can choose marketplaces. Why marketplaces? Like what Adrian said, if you don't have the marketing know-how, you don't want to do SEM, SEO, you don't intend to spend yet, you want to test out online, try marketplaces first. But the trick in marketplaces is, if you're among the 10 million sellers in SKU in Lazada, if you search a product, if your product is in the second, third page, very unlikely your product will sell. How to make a product to the first page and first line? That is the key. Then you need to evaluate and see those people who sell the same product, how they do what they do. You need to do that. That is some art. To learn more about that, I think there are subsequent classes that SITEC is organizing about managing content, managing sales conversion, managing ranking. So please do attend those classes, right? And I want to cover a few things here. Your product is the most important thing. You need to first get clarified. That one is the first source. Second, look into your pricing. Even for ClickAsia, every 15 stores in Malaysia, not all the stores sell same price. We use something called a dynamic pricing strategy. In an old school, you try to walk to one singing store to another singing store, you put on the same price, you get scolded by customer. But in an online world, I always tell people, the guy who buy the air ticket and Air Asia seat next to you are paying a different price. Because you're giving a different level of service, different level of commission margin. So you need to educate the customer. You need to play a dynamic pricing strategy by marketplaces, by voucher, by discount, because they are by nature different. Even their same product. Agree or not? So that is an education you need to do. Secondly is about supplier support. Some of you don't manufacture a product, you buy product from people. What do you need to do? You need to make sure your supplier are friendly to give you online products. We are willing to support you online. Some suppliers tell you, they belong to, I'm just joking, they belong to auntie, uncle generation. Right? 95% of my business or 99% of my business is offline. I don't need your 1% to disturb my 99%. If that thinking were to come, how do you address and how do you change? They will never grow. So you need to evaluate, is this the right supplier you want to go with? You want to play big wheel. Right? So that's something you need to consider. Competitive landscape, is your product commodity? Is your product easily available by another seller? When you try to build already, can someone copy you overnight? Yes, they are. Even today I'm standing here. I was just telling some of the friends here, right? Some product we did well. When you're a leader already, people see you, people attack you. Very normal. How do you defend? So you need to think all this sustaining strategy. The market segment you play. which segment you play, where you play. A good example is, there are some marketplace you choose. This is a real story. Shopee is C2C. Most of the Shopee product will not, they sell below 200 ringgit transaction of 100 ringgit transaction. And you know Shopee today, if you are merchant in Shopee, they give you free delivery and so on and so forth. You buy cheaper thing, in Shopee is still the cheap. If you buy, let's say a SanDisk of a product value of low capacity, say 16, maybe 20 ringgit product. If I have to sell that product in Lazada, I need to pay commission plus freight charges to their 3PL. But if I go Shopee and sell the same product for my cost, because they give me free delivery fee and so on, so now consumer get cheaper, right? So where to buy is cheaper. Some low value product you sell in Shopee is cheaper. But of course, Shopee's value of the marketplace traffic is not as good as Lazada. But some people, okay, and afraid, three things. I'm not talking about cancellation and so on. These are the common things when you have the sales. The good news is when you have sales, you get charged. You don't have the sales, you don't get charged. So you have free marketing in some way. Marketing expertise. If you play in your own e-store, you need to have a lot of marketing expertise on the slide I showed earlier. How to invite customer, how to build customer community, how to have recurring business like what Adrian shared before. But if you don't that well, you play in marketplace. But when you play in marketplace, you want to be a serious player in marketplace. Who say in marketplace you don't need marketing expertise? You still need marketing expertise. To get your product listed above and win your competition and make sure it's always eyeball. And in marketplace, I want to tell you something. Not the lowest price always sell. But don't be a hero to be the highest price and what to sell. But in marketplace, not the lowest price always sell. Take my words, right? It's about traffic. Some people just come in, some buyers just come in. They don't care, they look at reputable, more or less within their budget, fair. Okay, price is the perception of consumer within a buyer and seller, within the value they get. It's not the lowest always sell. Always remember the sales psychology, right? And last but not least is, second last is people. A lot of success is about your readiness of your people. If you play in own e-store and a marketplace, is your people ready to more where? Some people just very strong in e-store, some people are very strong in marketplace. Where is your people readiness? Above all, one thing I want to share, if you are a business owner in this room, you give the buy-in, but you have a pool of shareholder. It could be your father business, it could be your somebody shareholder business. If they don't buy in and give a commitment and allocate stock for you, you will never be successful. I'll give you an example. Let's say iPhone 7 launch. Everybody know it's shortage. You put anywhere so you sell one. If you have a 10 Apple store and you have one online store,